There are movies you watch, and then there are movies you survive. I watched 5 films that genuinely made me regret pressing play. These horror movies almost feel illegal to watch, and honestly, I think I might regret every single one. Alright, so first up, Red, White, and Blue. This was released in 2010. Part drama, part revenge, thriller, and 100% uncomfortable. So we follow Erica. And Erica's got a lot of trauma she's lugging around with her, right? She's basically numbing herself with one-night stands. And then we've got Nate, an awkward war veteran with a dark past. And for a while, honestly, this movie feels like an indie drama, but there's this constant hint of unease. And when the violence hits, it hits hard. And by the end of this movie, it pretty much just erupts into shocking brutality that feels alarmingly real.
Frankie, what are you doing? Do you ever cut yourself, Erica? Takes away the numbness?
Alright, no spoilers, but there was a certain torture scene, and honestly, I couldn't even watch it. I had to look away multiple times, which is not like me. I can watch anything, so it was definitely brutal. But seriously, it's not ghosts or monsters in this movie. It's human cruelty that's the villain, right? Which somehow makes it even more disturbing. Honestly, watching this movie feels like witnessing something you shouldn't have. By the end, I was so stressed, but I was also very relieved it was over. Alright, next up on the list, Nekromantik, released in 1988. This was a weird one, and I'm talking really weird. Honestly, I'm almost afraid to even talk about it. And trust me, disturbing is an understatement here. The title to this movie is disturbingly literal. This movie involves necrophilia. And it follows a couple who bring home corpses to fulfill their twisted and sexual desires. And it's filmed in a grimy, low-budget style that makes it honestly all feel way too real. And let me tell you, there are some moments in here that physically made me turn my head, and I don't turn my head. It's so wild that it was banned in several countries. Watching it felt like committing a crime. I was low-key expecting the police to bust down my door. And then by the end, I was honestly baffled that something like this exists. This is definitely one I regret watching, but hey, mark it off the list, right? And if you're thinking, what the f right now? That's the sane reaction. You're good, you're normal. This movie is not. All right, let's move on to something more modern, even though modern doesn't mean any less messed up. Next up is The Sadness. So this was released in 2021. And after Nekromantik, honestly, I thought I'd seen it all. And then this movie came along and said, here, hold my beer. So this is a Taiwanese horror film that might be one of the goriest movies ever made. And it starts with a familiar setup, one we've all seen before, a virus outbreak, right? But here's the twist. So instead of your traditional run-of-the-mill zombies, the infected become hyper-violent lunatics who sadistically enjoy hurting others in the most sickening ways. Imagine a city where everyone just turns into a straight-up sadistic maniac. The result is just straight chaos. Blood-soaked streets, relentless gore. And honestly, beyond the gore fest, what's truly strange is the film's view on humanity. It suggests that beneath our civilized surface, we all might just be one bad day away from turning into one of these monsters. By the end of this movie, I was drained. I was in dire need of a shower and some cartoons to take me to a happy place before bed. And if you think horror movies have gotten too tame, this one will prove you wrong. Brace yourself for it and don't say I didn't warn you. And by this point, I was seriously asking myself why I wanted to make this video. But it's for you guys. And if you're enjoying this video and want to see more videos just like this, please hit that like button so that more movie buffs just like you can find the channel. But I sit through these wild movies, so maybe you don't have to. Or maybe you're a class A weirdo and you love this type of stuff. That's cool, man. But not all disturbing horror is about blood and guts. Some of the scariest films barely spill a drop of blood. Case in point, our next entry. Hereditary, released in 2018. This movie is a game changer in psychological horror, and from the start there is a sense of doom just lingering. The tension keeps building until an early scene delivers an absolute gut punch that left my jaw on the floor. And what's so disturbing about Hereditary is how personal it feels. The family's grief and guilt is portrayed so realistically that it hurts to watch. And then just when you're reeling it all in from all the family drama, right? The story turns pretty supernatural and pushes everything into nightmarish territory. But it's a different kind of nightmare, right? There's no gore needed here. The images and emotions alone cut deeper than any knife. Out of everything we've covered so far, Hereditary just got under my skin, man. It's brilliant, but it feels like something you weren't supposed to see. Alright, last but not least is The Night House, released in 2020. So this is one of those movies where I sat in silence for like 20 minutes after I finished this, just processing. It is a slow burn ghost story, but it messes with you big time. It follows Beth, who's living alone in the lake house that her husband had built her before he passed away. And man, I'm telling you, the vibe is off from the start. We're talking knocks at the door when no one's there, shadows that flicker just out of frame. But nothing ever fully shows itself. It's all atmosphere, and it works. Like, I legit caught myself holding my breath more than once. And when it does go for a scare, it hits hard. But honestly, the real reason it stuck with me is not that it's just scary, but it's unsettling. After it ended, I wasn't afraid to turn the lights off. I was seriously questioning what I might see if I did. And this is one of those movies that does not leave you alone when the credits roll. You're gonna carry around this one with you for a while. Alright, real ones, that wraps it up. These were 5 of the most disturbing movies of all time. Films that feel almost illegal to watch, given the type of emotional and psychological concerns they leave you with. Each one of these movies is a different kind of nightmare fuel. If you found this video interesting, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more videos just like this one. But wait, before you go, I have a question I'd like to ask you. What's the most disturbing horror movie, or maybe not horror, what's the most disturbing movie you've ever seen? Let me know down in the comments. At this point, honestly, I think I've seen it all with Nekromantik, and it will forever haunt me. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Stay real, my friends, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!